So very quick, I had this dream today, 31st January 2022. It's about Russia and US. Um, it was like, this crisis, uh, Ukrainian crisis going on. Um, so I had this dream. I saw Russian soldiers. Um, and then I saw Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, was he was going um, to talk to those Russian soldiers. They were all dressed in green uniforms, and the snow was all over the place, as you can see on the news. So Blinken had had this medicine, which I don't know how to put this. Well, the jabs, right? So he had jabs, right? And it was like the Russian soldiers were sick, but they had no jabs. But Blinken had jabs. So Blinken was ready to give them jabs, but it looks like Blinken had he wanted something in return, but he didn't ask for whatever he was wanting. So Blinken came as you know how you can be generous. He was like he's bringing aid, aid. So he came. He was giving jobs to these Russian soldiers in form of aid, but in reality, it was like he wanted to silence them, or he wanted them to comply with something, in return. So he thought that if he gives this aid to Russians, they will be grateful by their conscience will tell them that they have to give Blinken something in return. But when these Russian soldiers received the aid, these jobs, they didn't give Blinken anything in return. So Blinken was frustrated. He was angry. He started like pointing to the aid, like, I gave you this and that, but why are you not grateful by giving me these things in return, which I didn't know in the dream? But among the Russian soldiers, I saw something which is not really common to see in Russia. I saw people of African descent among Russian soldiers. So there were people of African descent, as we know, in America, but in Russia, in reality, is not a very common thing to see. But in my dream, I saw among Russian soldiers, I saw people of African descent, And again, I saw people of African descent who were looking like they're from America. I didn't get that point, but when Blinken was insisting about getting something in return, these soldiers, these Russian soldiers, they all came, they grabbed him, they kind of kidnapped him. They took him by force and they arrested him. And that's how the dream was. So I woke up. I think very short this dream, it's about how negotiations are going, about Ukraine and how Americans, the US, has kind of average against Russia, right? And that can mean a lot of things. It can mean, the sanctions, economy, these financial sanctions, which Russians are badly needing. They are needing, they are in kind of a crisis going on, and financial is something which, in negotiations, which can be exchanged, right? And but it just very short. I'll be very brief. Russians, America, I can say, US, and what I can say because of Blinken, he represents the US. US will be trapped. It's a trap. Russians are playing a game. They look weak. And US looks strong. But what I see in this dream, Russia is playing a game, and the US will be trapped in this game. They will kidnap US in this dream, They will kidnap US, but it will be the US will give themselves over to Russia, okay? By wanting to hold Russia, by wanting to flirt Russia, by wanting to play a game with Russia, but the game of Russia will be deeper. And I saw Russia take over. In this standoff going on over Ukraine, it is like a game of chess, whatever. And Putin is playing a game, and what I've seen, the US will lose. So let's just pray for our fellows, and pray for our fellow Christians and people to get saved. Because we all know that the games of this world are not the games of God, and our work is to preach Jesus and to win souls for heaven. We are not playing about powers of this world, because we know who have the powers of this world, But for us is to pray God to save as many people as we, is possible in this time before the end comes, before the rapture happens. So blessing guys and have a great evening.